We talked earlier about the anxiety of this business. Can we talk about why it's high anxiety and what can people do to work with it?
Most people I know in this business are full of anxiety. I mean, first of all, most people in film don't have full-time jobs, most people. It goes like this. So there's this financial anxiety, first of all. You'll have busy seasons. Spring, summer, and fall are often really busy. Winter is usually not. So sometimes you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent next month. That's very common. Unless you're working, making gobs of money, you're probably fine. So that's the first off. Second of all is we've all sacrificed so much to be here. Nobody wants to make bad stuff. So when you get these opportunities, you want to do a good job. And you can end up putting so much pressure on yourself that you start screwing things up. Oh man. Sometimes there's anxiety for the people that you're working with. You get a named talent, for example, an A-lister actor that's coming in, and you're so afraid. I think it's afraid of being discovered as a fake or, not talented or whatever, your worst possible fear. Maybe you don't have it and the actor can see it and, oh no, what will happen? Oh man, yeah, anxiety. There's the judgments, the egos, someone thinking they're more than they are, and their ego is ruling the set, and the anxiety that comes out of that. You're also on film, it's such a collaborative art. All these temperamental artists in a room together on set, sets are pressure cookers. We're all working under tight deadlines and tight financial restrictions. The sun is going down, we got to get the shot. That's super anxiety. So it's something I've definitely struggled with most of my life. I can be very high strung. And it's something I really have to pay attention to, because anxiety is a killer. It can give you health problems. It will shut down your creativity. You can work yourself into such a state where you can get panic attacks and things. I've had that happen. So I think it's important, first of all, I practice a lot of, self-awareness and meditation and things like that just to help me deal with a lot of those issues. And, that's a big rabbit hole, but I will tell you that one thing that's helped me a lot is there are two ways to look at anxiety. So your mind is like this freeway with cars racing back and forth on it. And, money's flying out the door and, this actor's coming, I'm so scared. It's going back and forth. Well, you have a couple of options. You can either stand in the middle of traffic and try to slow the cars down and stop being so anxious and fight it, or you can sit on the overpass while the traffic's going under you and go, okay, there's a lot of anxiety happening right now. Okay. And don't judge it and let it be and just acknowledge that it's there, and sometimes it'll start to move away. You're not trying to stop the traffic. You're not trying to be angry at the traffic, because that doesn't help. You're not trying to, you're just acknowledging that it exists without any judgment. And I also think it's important to not say, I try to avoid the words, I am anxious. It's the same way of saying, I am depressed. Well, I am not the emotion of anxiety. I am Jason, a person with strengths and weaknesses. I am not anxiety. I am not anxious. I am feeling this way right now, but because I think we all have a tendency to do that. I am a pessimist. Well, you're labeling yourself with a certain emotion, and I think that can carry a weight. So I think those kinds of self-awareness techniques are really important, especially for filmmakers who are in such a high stress industry. Taking time to laugh at yourself and realize how silly this business is sometimes. And I was shooting a thing earlier this year. It was the feature I just did where we had to shoot some anti-gravity stuff, and we had the camera on a thing called a lambda head, so you go left and right. And it was very much like Star Trek, where all the actors had to throw themselves one direction while we rolled the camera the other way. And so in the monitor, it looks like everything's tilting and the actors are going, whoa, whoa. And it was an intense scene, and I'm looking at it and I just start laughing because of how silly it all is, like how silly this whole make-believe industry is. And I think that's healthy, to oh my goodness, look what we're making. This is so dumb what we're doing. And so funny and fun and all of that all together, and just laughing at yourself for a minute, and just, letting some of that anxiety go, and just, because it's not helping you. It's not serving you. It's not making you more creative. It's not making you more meticulous or anything. It's just making you anxious.
Yeah, another thing too is that the decisions change very quickly in this industry in so many ways, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm so sorry, we don't need you, and you don't know why. You'll never be told why. So knowing that that could happen, and to not, even though you really want something, but to know that you could get that email or that phone call, really sorry, it's not going to happen.
Happens all the time.
And to just, all right, be depressed for like a day and then move on.
Yeah. I think it's important to say that it's anxiety, and especially when it results from things like that, or depression or discouragement. It's okay. It's okay to be a little frustrated when you get the rejection. That's all right. Don't dwell on it. Let yourself feel it, and then, give yourself a day or two, and then try to move past it. But don't judge the fact that you're a little bit down because you entered the festival that you wanted and they didn't accept you. Yeah, it sucks. We all do it. No one's different. We're all the same. And it's okay to feel that way, but then just give yourself a chance to take a breath, fight again another day. Because it is normal. This business is so uncertain. You know how many investors I've talked to over the years trying to get a movie out? Oh man, the amount of times they pulled out, it's maddening sometimes.
Close to the shooting date?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it happens all the DPs pull out, actors pull out, projects fall apart. And that ranges from feature films to any manner of film job, shoot. I had like 3 or 4 weeks of work booked on 2001, September 11. I was supposed to go to Egypt for a couple of weeks on a nice, great, big, fat job, and I was going to leave on September 14. And I watched those towers fall, and my work stopped dead. That was depressing. That was hard. But normal. It's what happens. This is the business that we fought to be in. So, try to enjoy it as often as you can, because it's fun when it's working. It's great.
Sure.
It's great.